Hey guys, Lord here, back in with another action figure review. Today I'll be taking a look at the last aerial bot I needed to get the Superion show on the road. Granted, it's not the last one we will be reviewing, but you don't know that yet. Either way, today I'm going to be taking a look at the Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe class Skydive, who is a retool, extensive retool, of Air Raid. So whatever I said about him, pretty much the same thing applies here. That said, of course, this is brought to us by the fine folks over at Hasbro. So before we get too far ahead of ourselves, why don't we cut right to the chase, into the meat and taters of this review and take a look, see at all he has to offer in terms of accessories. He's got two blasters here, different from Air Raid, thankfully. And now we have the figure. As I mentioned, he was the last one I needed, but not the last one we will be looking at here on the channel. But I do like him. Aesthetically, he looks fine. You can fold these wings back if you want. They do snap into that part, but I do kind of like to leave them out. I think that's how they're supposed to be anyways. But as far as articulation on this guy goes, his head will rotate. He can look up a little bit, but nothing crazy. Shoulders will move up and down. They'll rotate. He's got a single jointed elbow with rotation. His hands are on like a little hinge, but it doesn't really do much. He's got a waist twist. Hips will kick out, back down. Single jointed knee that does work pretty good. He's got a thigh cut. He doesn't have like the flashing that Air Raid had, doesn't seem. And then his ankles are on hinges. They can move forward and back as well as tilt. And that's your lot. Unlike Air Raid, he has a single fin on the back of his leg that was packaged separately. His nose cone does appear to be different, and I think his wings are too. But very cool robot mode. I think Air Raid and Skydive here take it when it comes to robot mode. However, jet mode I think has to go to Slingshot and Fireflight. I think their jet modes look a little sleeker, a little better. The only question is, does this guy have a stupid QC issue that keeps me from transforming him all the way? Hopefully not. I didn't have that with Fireflight. I didn't have that with Silverbolt. And hopefully I won't have that with this guy. Seems like the later three had less issues. I don't know why the first two did. You would think mold degradation wouldn't settle in until the later ones, but whatever. It is what it is. I'm just happy to have this guy in my collection so I can complete my Superion. That's the main reason I got these guys, because I don't have a Superion, and now I do. Standing him up there as best as I can. So we can bring in our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibolith, right there. Gee whiz, stand up, fool. And the infamous 11 Spawn, who, as usual, towers over everyone. So, with that being said, it's now time that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and whatever I said about Air Raid before him, same thing applies to good old Skydive here, because they are built off the same skeleton. Granted, they do have some different parts to differentiate themselves from one another, but they have the same build, same transformation, same old, same old. That said, the one thing we don't know is if I'll be able to transform Skydive into his jet mode without any problems, because for those of you who haven't been keeping up here on the channel, you might not remember that my Air Raid did have a minor QC issue that I had to heat up, modify, and or fix so I could get him fully transformed. So, I guess there's only one way we are going to find that out, so why don't we cut the crap and get this guy transformed and take a closer look at his jet mode. And as promised, here we have Skydive, or as I like to call him, Nosedive fully transformed into his jet mode. And the reason I call him Nosedive is that's pretty much all he wants to do. Again, is there a landing gear in this vicinity that could help them sit up? Because Air Raid had the same problem. Sure, now he wants to sit up. Jerk. That said, other than this wing popping off on mine, which was my fault, I guess, everything seemed to fold up and stay together quite nicely. The feet don't want to pop out. The arms locked in. The nose cone flattened out. Everything pegged in, which is what you want. The only gripe I have with this alt mode, other than, yeah, it's not as tidy under here, is Fireflight and Slingshot, is that there's no, I can't seem to find any front-facing landing gear to help him sit up. I'm just assuming there isn't any, because I don't see any fake ones back here, so that kind of sucks, but, you know, it is what it is. I didn't buy this guy to keep him in this mode. I bought him to combine with Superion and be freaking legs. So that's exactly what I plan to do once this review is over. But I guess, you know, the alt mode for Skydive here, arguably just as strong as Air Raid. Yeah, they have some different parts, but they do have that big old chunk of robot hanging off the bottom, which, once again, Slingshot and Fireflight do not have. So, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.